lot of you guys put in the comments that you were a fan of these live streams. And I've got so many very records to go through that I figured, why not let's film some more. This has been a kind of a rough week at the store. I myself was sick for most of the week, so I was home, not at the shop. I came in to do the Thursday video. If you notice in that video, I was out of it, and that's because I was drugged up to get through the video. Now Angel is homesick, but I've got Alex here with me, and we are going to do the live stream. So yeah, let's check out some boxes. I think we're going to do a little bit of we're going to mix it up. Now all the stuff from last week is almost been cleaned. Half of it is out. Probably the other half is going to go out in the next Monday or Tuesday. And all the stuff you're looking at for you locals, all the stuff that we're going to look at today, will go out later in the week. Essentially, I'm trying to build a good pile for my processor to go through while I'm in Europe buying more records to add to the pile. I mean, I see a little pile space over here, so we'll have some more stuff to go over here. So let's grab a jazz box off the pile. So with the jazz stuff, you know, a lot of that stuff I took home. A lot of that stuff made its way back here. You know, I had a good chunk of that stuff. A lot of that cold frame made its way back here. But let's see what we got. From Tony Williams Lifetime. Almost positive I have that, but I guess let's go through this stuff first. Kai Winding of Bethlehem. Teddy Wilson. Gerald Wilson. Yeah, I know for a fact I just got this. Don't have this Tony Williams Lifetime. Gotta keep that. Pretty sure that I have that. I don't need that Tony Williams. So, let's take some more of this stuff out of here. What is that? Mary Lou Williams Trio, Zodiac Suite. Some more Mary Lou Williams.
What's your thoughts on the what's going on?
So, let me tell you what's going on with the what's going on. So, extremely allocated. I got about 5% of my order, and I'm getting conflicting emails from Universal. I emailed Universal the first time. They said it's heavily allocated. Almost nobody got any of it. Very, very hard to get. Okay. Sent them back another email. Okay. You know, how much, you know, what am I expecting? When's the balance coming? You know, trying to answer customers' emails. They didn't say anything back. Then I sent them another email, rephrased the question, and their response was, but we were talking about two separate SKUs. But I specifically was talking about the what's going on. I'm like, all right, what's going on? And they're like, we've got it. And I'm like, you got what? What's going on? Is that what you're going to send me? So I've got so very little of it. And that's a problem with everybody. From what I see, it looks like most of the online retailers are sold, you know, they got allocated too. There's probably more in the pipeline. Because of that, I've been leery to even crack open a copy for myself. I want to listen to it. It looks really good. The quality looks really good on it. Real heavy duty tip-on jacket. But to be honest, I have no idea what the hell's going on with the title yet. Larry Young's Fuel. Bill Woods. Yeah, so it's, you know, I know more of that title's coming out. It's not like their Nirvana Anniversary, which was one and done and essentially came out as a one-shot deal to where it came out essentially out of print. This is just an issue that title, I think, there's been problems with that title for months. I think it's been pushed back 3 or 4 times. They keep pushing it back, and then all of a sudden, of course, when they finally release it, there's virtually none to go around. They probably should have pushed it back again and just didn't want to do it one more time. Can you see in there? I'm going to kind of keep the stuff in the box. Look at that. Greek cooking. Phil Woods. Some biograph. This is not as thrilling as that first Coltrane box that I pulled. The Winter Consort. But, you know, that could change. Can you see in this box from there?
Yeah. Good.
Bunch of Grover Washington. Diana Washington. I'll burn through this quick. Lester Young. That's not good. Little water.
It's a terrible sound.
At least it was 2 verb comps. Nothing too valuable. Some Randy Weston on CTI. That's a good record.
I'm gonna move a little closer.
Sure. Get happy with the Randy Weston trio. It'd be great if it was an original, but this is a Japanese pressing. With no obies. Sometimes the obies were stuffed in here, sometimes they weren't. Looks like somebody or something maybe took a little bit of. There was a rat issue. Lester Young, newly discovered performances on ESP. This is kind of a hodgepodge box. Looks like it was towards the end of the alphabet. Oh, there we go. Copy of Unity. Clean. Mint, well, a little pressing defect, but other than that, record is mint. And it's Van Gelder cut. It's a Liberty pressing. There we go. More Larry Young.
They say they want you to find the M box next.
The M box. What are we looking for? The Mobley? What
Yep.
M?
Said I think Mobley and Lee Morgan.
He has a grip of Lee Morgan. I mean, God, look at this. Larry Young. These 2 albums, man, you don't see contrasts. Nice. I mean, mint Liberty copy, contrasts. We've got the Folkways records.
Someone says, should I continue to see classic records Zepp, or do you think, oop, it disappeared. Or do you think a UHQR is coming? I currently have a 45 TP of Stairway and it's fantastic. What about PF?
You know, it could come, but I'll tell you what. It's not something. It's if it's something that could have been done already. I think it would have been done already. You know, Chad's no dummy. He knows if he can put out those Led Zeppelin class. I mean, that's like printing money. So that would have been done already if it could have been done. That doesn't mean it couldn't be in the works, but that was a lackluster box. We got a little grip of stuff there at the end, but I don't know. It could come, but you know what? It's kind of the Zeppelin classic stuff. I've always felt is difficult because Jimmy Page has already said his new reissues are the best Led Zeppelin's ever sounded. So why would he sign off on an inferior quality sounding, you know, set of records?
What do you figure the chances Tool will release a double LP of Fear Inoculum?
Not very good.
And someone says that they don't want to see any more jazz. Where's all the hair metal records?
Well, we don't have any hair metal per se, but there is some killer rock stuff. I was just so disappointed with that last jazz box, I had to do another one, so I'm not mixing it up. But this one's looking pretty good because this is an M box, surprisingly.
Oh, there you go. Ask and you shall receive.
Woo! Right off the jump. Now this looks like a Japanese. So some Japanese. West Montgomery. Some Obolus Japanese West Montgomery. Throw that. Monk's Greatest Hits. Monk. Recorded on tour. Ooh, look at this. Wow. What do we got here? United Artists. This is a Liberty pressing. But beautiful mint copy with the Van Gelder Dead Wax. Solo Monk. Mingus plays piano. Tijuana Moods. This is a good box. Really good box. Oh yeah? Not an easy album to find. Look at this. We got Mingus. We've got Monk. Japanese pressing, yeah. Some of these had the oldie, but none of these. Ooh, look at that nice clean copy of Mingus. The Ming guy. Probably a second pressing, yeah. What we got here, boy? That's got to be a later pressing because that's a pretty clean copy of, yeah, mid-60s pressing of Mingus at home. I mean, it's mint. Monk's Blues. Monk's Music Volume 1 and 2. Liberty pressings. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Monk Crisscross.
Someone asked, how many records do you listen to on a daily basis?
Well, I mean, we're listening to tunes all day in the store. But this past week, I just sat home and slept. Jazz Workshop on Barnaby Records. Mingus at Carnegie Hall. Changes 1 and 2. I did a really weird job putting this box in here. Because it's all kinds of hodgepodge. Just Mingus Monk. Mingus Tonight at Moon. Tonight at Noon.
Any idea if early Smashing Pumpkins will be reissued?
Oh, man. You would think, right? I wouldn't see why not. Is that a Prestige? Specialty price, 3 record set. Look at this. What's that? Right in between the Mingus. What a disappointment. Glenn Miller. That looks pretty good. Ooh. Black Saint and Sinner Lady.
Have you listened to the new Red Hot Chili Peppers?
No, so from what I hear though, somebody sent me an email and said Bernie Grundman mastered it, and it is all analog. Man, I really don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Should I say that? That's not really my thing. I just don't like the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Do you know the best pressing of Unknown Pleasures?
Off the top of my head, I mean, I've got a nice burgundy see-through vinyl, original UK. That's generally what I just listen to. That's probably approaching some of the best of what's available. Full Grip, a modern jazz quartet. Always like the cover of the Sheriff. Yeah, it's lots of modern jazz quartet. Woo! You know, like I said though, he had a lot of late 60s, early 70s stuff. So we got a Liberty, No Room for Squares. You know, there's no sextet in here or nothing insane. Let's check out this roll call. I wish he was as big of a Hank Mobley fan as he was a modern jazz quartet fan. Roll call, still RVG. Copy of Dippin'. Still a Rudy Van Gelder cut. Mobley's Message reissue. Boo. Messages. Oh, that looks good. What is this? Roscoe Mitchell Quartet on Sackville. Blue Mitchell. The trick is with these reissues, and you know, a lot of people have threw shade at these for so many years because they're not the uber high-end originals. But you get that, like this is a Van Gelder Master. You get a Van Gelder Master on these, and you're doing pretty damn good for a very, very, very small fraction of an original price. Well, actually, no, these have started going up to some crazy money too. But these used to be bordering free. All right, let's get to some rock.
Have you listened to the new Beach House record?
No. Have you?
No, I haven't. I know it's been selling like crazy though, so it's probably decent.
It's been moving. What do we have here? Hoping we got a rock box and not a country box. Oh! This is another jazz box. We'll skip it. Maybe we'll look at it later because this is a B box. I just saw a whole grip of Art Blakey. So I might have to do that one anyways, but we'll try to separate it a little bit.
Anything new been added recently to the Mike's 100 in print to own?
No, not really. I've been so busy. This has been kind of one of those weeks that have been absolutely insane busy. It's not that we've had, I mean, you know, there's not that a ton of stuff has come out this week that's new. A new announcements, I guess I would say, but so many really hot, desirable pre-orders have finally come through. That you know, the Wild Times, a bunch of audiophile stuff. neighborhood houses. Christopher Cross. What do we got? Country Records. Canyon Records. Ooh. Canyon Records was a... Wait a minute, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. Could be a... Looks like a boot, but Canyon Records is a label out of Arizona. A couple of really desirable psych records on the label. But judging by the track list, it just looks like a CSNY boot. Some Neil Diamond. Dixie's Midnight Runners. Charlie Daniels. Man, these early Charlie Daniels are actually not that easy to find. Oh yeah, that's a pricey record. Not the Charlie Daniels, but look at that. This was actually reissued as a record store day title. That's high dollar, a couple $200-300 probably. Another high dollar Karen Dalton. Some Devo. A lot of promo stuff, especially by the time we got to like the 70s and 80s. Most of the stuff was promo. I thought this was so out of place when I saw this in the collection. He had a full early run of Dio. All promo. You know, gold embossed stuff. Intermission, man, that's not one you see very often. When did this come out? 86? Oh, some Depeche. Dillard and Clark. Let's see what label we got here. Clean. Early Monarch pressing. There's a bunch of Crosby Stills, some Boots. Depeche Mode promo. People are People promo. Very nice. Yeah, promo. Music for the Mass. John Denver. He has a lot of people don't realize he has his first album was a private press record that goes for a whole lot of money.
What concert are you going to next?
What concert am I going to next? I was going to see Nick Mason's Saucer Full of Secrets, but that got canceled / rescheduled, but they canceled my tickets. I have beautiful front row tickets that they canceled. I don't know. Billie Eilish is tomorrow.
Ooh.
Trying to think. Delaney and Bonnie on Stax.
You ever find any cool things hidden within the records? Like money, pictures?
Letters to God, drugs, money. lot of pot seeds in the gatefolds, you know, that's kind of real common. Oh, that's not something I anticipated seeing in here. Some dead Kennedys. Really weird. Cool. So what is this? We just got pretty much mostly just some a D box. Whole bunch of Spencer Davis. So what's even in this box? DA through. This is a very beginning of D. It's all that was even in this box. You could see this was a pretty elaborate collection as far as quantity of stuff. Oh man, I gotta see what's in that Art Blakey box. All I see is Impulse and Blue Note, and Blakey sticking out the top. Art Blakey, my favorite drummer. Some George Benson. And not bad Benson, it's not that common. Body Talk. Reason. Ooh, he had the Benson down. It's actually really good. I dig It's Uptown. All right. Picks for real. How are we doing on questions?
Good. Somebody just asked if there was any MoFi in this collection.
I saw one MoFi record while I was digging through this stuff on the shelves. It was the Manhattan Transfer, so, you know, it's like, one of the very, very, very few Mobile Fidelity records go for less than retail. Unfortunately, the Manhattan Transfer is one of them. Count Basie.
Any Savoy label?
Weirdly enough, he was a huge Blue Note fan. Right? So had tons of Blue Note, tons of Prestige. There wasn't a ton of Savoy stuff in here. A lot of Riverside, but a lot of his Riverside were Japanese reissues. Van Gelder. This looks like a nice Liberty. Van Gelder Liberty. Like, I have a beautiful original of most every Blakey record, but this is like beautiful play copies. You know, so the later stuff will be the Liberty what is this? Blue Note t-shirt coupon. That's another Van Gelder issue. But then when it comes to stuff like, you know, the 70s stuff, a lot of that ends up being original.
Are we going to see any Janos Starker box from AP anytime soon? Will they repress?
It's going to get repressed. There's no way that that was a one and done type deal.
Do we have an ETA on the Jimmy UHQRs?
So, sometime this month. You know, it's Analog Productions always ships wholesale out a little after they start shipping retail. Mobile Fidelity does the same thing. But unlike last time, we don't have to wait 6 months for these things to be manufactured.
Did you end up listening to the Talking Heads AAA reissues?
I have not. Somebody mentioned that to me. As far as them, I'm pretty sure I listened to them when they were new, though, to be honest. Backgammon. Not enough Art Blakey. I feel let down. Chunk of Walter Bishop. Oh, more Blakey. Never mind. I must have not put it all. Here's some Benson. Must have not have put it in the box correctly. And what's nice about it is the box ends with Blakey. So that means, like for instance, I bet you this, it seems like almost every single Riverside he had was a Japanese pressing. Japanese Riverside.
Any Coltrane OM?
Yeah, I think that might have been in the last video.
How do you organize your albums at home?
Just by genre and then artist.
Can you explain Van Geld and Liberty?
So Van Gelder was the mastering engineer for a good chunk, not all, but a good chunk of the original Blue Notes. Considered one of the greatest mastering engineers and actual recording engineers of all time. And his stuff is very, very desirable because it sounds typically really good. Liberty was the company that bought Blue Note from the original owners. So a little bit later of a pressing and not as desirable. But a lot of times they use these same metal plates. Like for instance, this is a much later Blue Note, but it uses the same original metal plates as the first pressing. So it's going to still be desirable because you're going to get, you know, the same sound quality generally, you know. A lot of people prefer, the original Blue Notes are slightly better. But you're getting a majority of the sound quality for a whole lot less money. My favorite jazz album of all time, right here. Art Blakey's Moanin'. There's a classic pressing of this that's in print that's unbelievable. This is an original Van Gelder stereo. You know, and it uses, again, the original stereo plates, RVG stereo. Blakey and John Andy. All right, so let's grab another rock box. My goal is to try to get about a week's worth of stuff for the guys to process.
What's the best drum solo you can do on a U-Haul box? It's very important. The people must know.
I don't know if it'll be that good. So this is not really a box I'm even going to show you guys. He had a pretty big this is, what do we got here? Some random Texas Mexican early music from the 20s. This is a box of a lot of like, I mean, you know, some Hooley stuff, some Folkways stuff, random Velvet Underground stuffed in there. This is a lot of his like compilations, you know, deep mountain music of the Ozarks and some Hooley Zydeco, some Creole music, a lot of these early country comps. Oh. Mosaic box. Andrew Hill Blue Note Mosaic box. I guess that's pretty good. Okay.
Do you have a favorite live jazz album?
Favorite live jazz album? Probably that Art Blakey Meet You at the Jazz Corner of the World. That's so good. You know, a lot of guys would probably say, you know, live Bill Evans. All the stuff that was done at the Village Vanguard. But oh my God, this is another box of very similar stuff. What is this? I mean, it's all the early Waylon, which is desirable. And I'm guessing it's all minty mint. Brand new. That'll sell. Big grip of mint Waylon. George Jones, more Waylon. Grandpa Jones, more Waylon. A lot of Folkways. The classical that was in this collection was just awful, you know, from a value perspective. Here's a rock box at the beginning of the alphabet.
Did you come across any Elvis when you were processing this?
Not really. How much Hoyt Axton do you need?
Oh, hi, Angel.
She's supposed to be home in bed. She's watching YouTube. She's such a big fan of YouTube. I know she misses it. She loves it. Bunch of association. Sleep at the Wheel. And this clean band stuff is getting hard to find. I mean, you know, not Northern Lights, but nice. Stage Fright. What is this? Sleep at the Wheel test pressing. Oh yeah, doesn't everybody need a Sleep at the Wheel test Vance promo copy? I'm gonna retire.
In this collection, what was the best find, do you think, so far?
There's been a ton of Blue Note stuff. All that Coltrane stuff was great. There's a lot, the original Poppy Towns Van Zants were really good. This is a collection that has, like, when you get to the right artist, though, it's more like you pick up for it on quality, because he'll have a full run of stuff and it's just mint. Like, the band stuff. Those really clean early records, I mean, they're going for money now. Hoyt Axton. Wow, way too much Hoyt Axton. Oddly enough, this actually has a decent amount of wear to it. Bunch of Joan Baez. This is unfortunately been not as good as the last. Some backtracks. Not as good as the last couple of boxes I opened in the previous video. There's so many records in this collection, though. You can get a box like this that's just bogged down with Hoyt Axton and Joan Baez. And this is, with every record collection, this is kind of normal. Like, not everybody has all $30 records, especially if they were buying these things back in the, in the 70s when they were new. There's a lot of music back then that was good that nobody nowadays really listens to anymore.
Angel, oh, sorry, go ahead.
What's that?
I'll say Angel asked me what my favorite thing about working at the In-Groove is, and it's working with you, Angel, of course. Getting to see your face every day. Although I haven't seen you all week, so I'm sad.
This box. It's a weird box. That was like in a leftover pile. Where these boxes start? Maybe here. We are getting to the point where we are about done, because Ben will not be able to process anymore. So what do we got? A John Mayall. Where are the M's? Got the John Mayall covered. Some nice early Stevie Miller. Nice. Not easy to find. I mean, absolutely stone mint copy of Sailor. Same thing with. Who keeps calling me?
A couple different people. Very popular tonight.
Mighty Lemon Drops. Midnight Oil. So I'm thinking so far out of this box. I mean, a lot of these Blue Note records are going to be $100 records nowadays, just mint Van Gelder copies. But that Karen Dalton seems to be the winner of this stuff so far. Metropolis. Some more John Mayall. We got every John Mayall. I'm thinking in here. Brian May and Friends.
How can you tell if a record is a first pressing?
You gotta look it up. Research, or you have to already know that it's a first pressing. Men at Work. Your favorite.
Woohoo!
Meatloaf.
I'm waiting for that one.
She's been when poor Meatloaf dies, and she says, "I don't even know anything Meatloaf does besides
Rocky Horror.
Rocky Horror," and I tortured her.
And the
by-
one song that's always in the commercials, though,
What's in the commercials?
the I would do anything for love.
See,
that one.
That's an amazing song. There's a beautiful. Oh, look at the MC5 in there. Let's see what version we have here. There's two versions of this. There's a censored and an uncensored version. I'm going to have to look up the dead wax. I think this is, I'm not sure off the top of my head. There's two versions. The beginning of Kick Out the Jams, the original says, "Kick out the jams, motherfucker." And then they took that out. Country Joe McDonald. This looks interesting. Gilbert and Glenn. Clean. You know, that could be good. That could be worth nothing. I'm not familiar with it. Your favorite.
What's my woohoo? The best album ever
You're
made.
very excited about this. I know how much you love
That's
this amazing Paul McCartney Wings album.
There's that one song on it, that the Wigwam or Bip Bop or something like that.
Oh, Bip Bop.
That
Everybody
one's
loves Bip
a
Bop.
freaking hit.
That is that's fire. Nice copy of Band on the Run. What do we got here? Wings. Press to play. I don't know what happened to this. That Ram saw better days. Oh, and we're going to finish up with some more John Mayall. It's clean John Mayall. All right, we're going to go through one more jazz box and then we're out of here. This is it. Check those out.
Where are the In-Groove branded record sorting gloves?
Yeah,
They're very impressed by your gloves.
I need those and some In-Groove branded U-Haul boxes. One more jazz box. Which one, Alex? Don't say that one.
That one right
one here?
there. Yep, right
Of course
there.
it's still the one on the
Just
wall.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oddly enough, we pulled right to that M box, huh?
Yeah, that was, I feel like the people in the comments manifested it for us.
What do we got here? This is an A box. So we're going to have a whole lot of Louis Armstrong here. Ooh, a bunch of Albert Ayler, too. Louis. Louis. Ella and Louis. And Louis. And Louis. And Louis. The Louis out of the way.
Are you guys doing a live stream tomorrow too?
No. There's about a week's worth of records sitting over there for Ben to process. I will be in Europe as at the Mega Record Fair in Schmahosenberg. Or what, however that city's pronounced. Albert Ayler. Vibrations. Albert Ayler. Yeah, look at that beautiful copy of that Greenwich Village. Love that cover. Always loved this record. My wife, I don't know if she's still watching, she really loves this record. You know what, honey? I should put this Albert Ayler on a special stack over here. I'll bring this home so you can listen to it tonight. Oh, you know what? We can listen to all this Albert Ayler. Look at this beautiful copy of Newgrass.
Will you be doing any live streams or anything from Amsterdam?
Yes, I plan on doing all kinds of record live streams from the greatest, largest record fair in the world.
Have you listened to the El Dorado lately?
No, God, I haven't listened to anything lately. Let's see, Roy Ayers. Some David Axelrod. Oh man, I love this artist sound. Pull up Chicago record. It's a fantastic record. There's so many weird, squirrely variations of which is a first and which is not. I have it, but I'm going to check that out.
Will you be selling when you go over to Amsterdam?
Yes, I have a booth set up. I was a late comer, so they threw me in the back by the bathrooms.
Are we going to be doing any RSD unboxings?
Here's some RSD stuff. I want to. It might have to wait until this is not the most thrilling pile of RSD stuff, but we've already started getting RSD stuff right here.
Do you have a good method of transporting records on airplanes?
Yes, suitcase. Would that be considered a good method?
Yeah, I mean, very effective.
Gatto Barbarelli. Lonnie Liston Smith on the Flying Dutchman. That's a pretty solid box. A lot of good music in this box.
Somebody said you'll get a lot of foot traffic if you're by the bathroom, so it might be a good thing.
Yeah. I don't know if you've ever been to a record show with a bunch of middle-aged men blowing up the toilet. I don't know how thrilled I'm going to be about that.
Oh, that'll be good.
You've not enjoyed that experience? No, you're missing out. So Chet Baker. Chet Baker, she was too good to me. That beautiful CTI. Poor CTI is very underrated as a label. Reissue. Japanese. Feels Japanese. Yeah, Japanese. threw all the oldies out. There's a few oldies, but not many. Ooh. Yeah. Nice, very clean. Tough to find this Gary Bartz record without a bunch of ringwear, cover wear. Oh yeah, look at all this beautiful. Oh yeah, this is a great record. In the mic pile. Oh yeah, this is a great record. In the mic pile.
Are you hoping to find anything at the record fair?
No, at this point anymore. I mean, I got enough records. I'll buy stuff that I could either sell and or that that I feel I need to have. I'm just looking to go have a good time. And it will be. It was a blast last time. I mean, it's more records than you can look at in 3 days, so what's not to love? You would need 3 weeks, and you probably still wouldn't see, ooh, Gary Bartz, more Gary Bartz.
Any comments on Sticky Fingers on Mo-Fi?
It's okay. I'm just not a huge fan of that 80s era Mo-Fi stuff.
Do certain genres sell better in Europe than they do here?
So I am planning on bringing all the stuff that I feel will do well there. So I'm going to bring like Doors records and Grateful, the American bands, just like all the Americans want UK Beatles records, Black Sabbath records, Led Zeppelin records, Pink Floyd records. They want American bands, so I'll be bringing stuff like that. I've got, a couple 13th floor elevators I might bring. That looks pretty good. Arranged by Oliver Nelson. Don't sleep on some of this Count Basie stuff. Some of it is really, really good. I mean, even by today's standards, I mean. Gary Bartz. Recorded in actual performance at the Left Bank Jazz Society. Oh boy, I bet this gets out there. Angel would love this too. So, that's the kind of stuff I'm going to bring. Psych does really well. Jazz, American jazz, Blue Note, but that does well everywhere. So what does that tell you? But American Psych, Garage, that stuff. I've got up some Sonics records. I've got some stuff from that collection I showed you guys a while back with... which is actually still sitting on the other end of the pile over there, and I don't know if I'm going to have time to dig it out. But, that kind of stuff does really well over there, from my experience. But I've never set up and dealed there. But I've seen other people deal. So, I've seen there's very few American dealers there. 1, 2, and, it's typically a guy brings a box or two, and that's all I'm doing. I'm mainly going to... the chocolate-covered Belgian waffles and buy records and drink the $1.50, €1.50 beer. Pretty good, pretty cheap. But yeah, that is it. So there'll be plenty of live streams and event types. I'm gonna try to do live streams. Assuming I can connect to like Wi-Fi there and maybe do some streams. But I'd like to do Wi-Fi streams there. If not, I'm gonna shoot video footage. I'll bring my GoPro and I'll shoot video footage and maybe try to get some of that edited in the hotel room. Some of that might get done when I get back to the States. But all right, guys, until next time.